everyone. So a lot of you probably who've watched my videos probably know that I am a veteran, Air Force veteran. I did active duty for about 12 years. But what you probably don't know, I don't think I've mentioned, is I am also a military brat. That is to say, my dad was in the military as well, and he served in the Seabees. And our last station as a dependent, as a military brat, was in United States Naval Station Roosevelt Roads in Puerto Rico. And I was lucky enough to go through my high school years there in a very small military base high school. And I really enjoyed that. It was a nice school. So the point is, they served at lunch. My favorite lunch, school lunch, was their Puerto Rican rice. And I've contacted a few friends asking for recipes, and they kind of fell through on that. And I've been doing research on the internet trying to get the one that looked closest to what I remember. And I think between them I got a combination of what we're going to do. And this is going to be a Puerto Rican style rice. And the reason I say style is because I'm not Puerto Rican. So it won't be authentic because I'm not Puerto Rican. But it should be a close style. And what I have here, and I can't remember at school, it seems to me I remember they had shredded chicken in our rice. I can't remember, but I'm going to put chicken in this rice. Now normally the Puerto Rican rice, they kind of like to use pork, but I'm going to try and cut down on the fat on this, so we're going to use chicken, and I love chicken anyway. So what I got here is about a large chicken breast, and what I did was I bought a family pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and I cooked those up in my crock pot with a little bit of chicken bouillon, and I'll use the rest of that in an upcoming video. But right now we're going to use one of those chicken breasts here. Then we're going to need some sazon, which gives it color and its seasoning. Goya adobo, which is a seasoning salt. Gandules verdes, which is green pigeon peas. Pretty critical part. And now Puerto Ricans make a seasoning called sofrito, and apparently it goes in basically all their dishes, and it's basically got peppers and onions and garlic and cilantro and all kinds of stuff, and they blend that up in a blender, and they just always have some on stock, and this recipe calls for some sofrito. But I went to the store because the recipes I found call for the sofrito, which by the way is a green colored mixture. The recipe calls for sofrito and also calls for tomato sauce. Well, Goya makes a product called sofrito tomato cooking base. So basically it's sofrito and the tomato mixed together, I think. So we're going to use that instead. A true authentic would use the green sofrito and then add some tomato sauce. So, and then I got long grain rice. I couldn't find medium grain rice, and they say that the medium grain rice works a lot better. With the rice, I'm going to rinse that in a bowl until the water comes out clear and not cloudy. They say that's critical to getting a nice fluffy rice, is to rinse their rice, so we'll be doing that. Alright, so let me get this all ready to go, and it looks fairly simple really, so we'll get it all started and get it mixed together. Let me rinse my rice first. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so let's get this started. First thing I want to do is put a couple teaspoons of olive oil in there. And let's put 2 spoons of minced garlic and get that frying up. I'm not too worried about that olive oil because everything else, there is no oil in it. And I'm going to make so much rice that oil is just minimal. Alright, so I'm going to put the whole jar of sofrito in there. I'm going to dump my can of pigeon peas in there with the juice. Alright. I'm going to take 2 pouches of this sazon. I think that's how you say it. This is what gives your rice the beautiful color. Alright, let's dump our chicken in there. Like I say, that's one very large chicken breast that I cooked in my slow cooker. Alright, the adobo seasoning, I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons. That's smelling good. I'm going to add 4 and a half cups of water. Alright. What I have here is my 3 cups of rice that I rinsed about 4 or 5 times until the water came out clear. I'm going to put that in. And we're going to bring that to a boil. Let me clean up my mess while we're doing that, waiting for that. Now what I'm going to do is let this come to a rolling boil on high. And I'm going to boil that for about 5 to 8 minutes. And just let that rice absorb a lot of that moisture while it's boiling. So you'll start to see that moisture disappear as the rice sucks it up, and I'll see you when that's ready to go to the next step. Okay, that's been boiling away for about 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and turn the heat off. Okay, so we're going to go on high for another 5 minutes. So I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, so I have been boiling that for a little bit over 15 minutes. You can see that the moisture is starting to absorb. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over. We're going to drop the temperature down to medium-low. And we're going to put the lid on it. Now they say to wrap the lid in foil. This is my second batch that I've done. So I've got this lid wrapped in foil, and that's supposed to help it seal and keep all that steam in there. So I'm going to put that on there, and we're going to cook that on low for, well, I'll come check it 20 minutes, but it's probably going to take a little bit longer than that. We'll check it in 20 minutes. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, that's been 20 minutes. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's starting to look good. So we turn this over. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. Rice is still not completely cooked. It's close. So we'll leave it on that medium low, and we'll do it another 20 minutes, and that'll be done. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, so that has been 40 minutes. And that looks nice and fluffy. Let's give that a taste. Oh yeah. Perfect. Okay, so let's get this trayed up and in the freezer. There you have it. That recipe made 2 trays and left me some for dinner. Okay, we'll get this in the freezer, get it frozen solid, and into the freeze dryer. I'll see you when it comes out. And there we have it. There is some beautiful Puerto Rican rice with chicken. Oh, I'm not even going to try the Spanish. But let's get this packaged. We'll get this packaged, and then we'll do a rehydration station. Now I'm going to put these in my individual mills, which is the special bags I bought from Top Mylar. They're the shallow bags. Instead of being a tall bag with a Ziploc up here, it's a shallow bag, kind of like a bowl. I really like these bags. You can pick those up at topmylar.com. I don't get anything for referencing them. I'm just telling you, I really like these bags. Now when I'm packing these, I like to get them all bagged up and Ziploc them shut while they're still warm. Then I'll go back through and open them up and put O2 absorber in each one. But I like to get them packed anything I do packed pretty quickly, especially in the summer here where it is so humid. Okay, so I got those all packaged up, 9 individual meal servings. So let's put some O2 absorbers in them. And now I'll just open them up again real quickly, put an O2 absorber in there, seal it back up. And those are 300cc O2 absorbers that I'm using. Pretty much that's what I use all the time. Okay, we got those all O2'd up. Now let's get them heat sealed and labeled, and then I'll be right back with the taste test. Okay, so there we have it. I bagged them all up, heat sealed them, and now we're ready to do a taste test. I got my hot water there. Open that up. That's what it looks like inside. We're going to reconstitute this inside the packet. I got a cup of water here. I've just poured about half a cup in there. I'm going to give that a stir to see if I need to add more. I'm going to say just a little bit more. Not a lot though. Three-quarters of a cup. Let's give that a good stir. There's a bit of chicken there that didn't get no water. Alright, I just put the whole cup in there. I don't want no dry chicken. I want to try and make this a nice meal. Tastes good. I'm just going to give that a little knead. Ooh, that's hot. We'll leave that sit for about 30 seconds. About all my patience is, because I'm very hungry. That seems about 30 seconds there. That's good enough. Alright, so that's what it looks like in the pouch. And we could eat that from the pouch. That's the idea of using these pouches. But for the video, I'm going to put it on my plate here. Let's get a close-up from my thumbnail. That looks good. Piping hot. Now let's dig in. See what the texture's like. Yep. Everything's rehydrated nicely. Check that out. Full of flavor. Like I say, I wanted to try and duplicate the one that we had at high school when I went to school in Puerto Rico, and I didn't do it. I'm not Puerto Rican, probably. That's I tried the recipe, mixed it up kind of according to the recipes. I did add chicken. I'm not 100% sure they had chicken in their high school Puerto Rican rice lunch. But having said that, it's a close second for sure. I may have added just a little bit too much water, but I wanted my chicken to be rehydrated. The rice rehydrated instantly, but the chicken, when I was stirring it up, I could feel it was a bit hard, so I had to add more water for the chicken. But all in all, I'd call this a pretty good success. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 because it's not that authentic Puerto Rican rice. It's close, but it's not there. But it's very enjoyable. In an emergency situation, it's full of protein there. You got your pigeon peas. I put plenty of chicken in there. It's got just a hint of tomatoes sauce. And I think that's probably where I went wrong. Oh, I can't remember that. Sofrito. I bought a jar of sofrito, and every video I watched said to make your own, which was like chopped up peppers and onions, I think, and garlic, and quite a few different things that you stick in the blender and you blend it into a fine paste, not paste, blend it up, and that is your sofrito. And then you add some tomato sauce to it. And I think if I'd have done that, I probably would have got the 10 out of 10 on this. So, the jarred sofrito, I actually did taste it off camera, just from the jar. And the tomatoey part of it, of the sauce, kind of reminded me of the sauce you get in SpaghettiOs or something. It wasn't a really tomatoey flavor. And I bet you if I used real tomato sauce, that would have totally changed the meal. But I'm on a budget, and it was a lot cheaper to buy that jar of sofrito than all the individual ingredients, and hindsight's 2020. So it would have been much better to make my own. And if you want to make your own, just Google sofrito recipe. There's plenty of them out there. But I think it's a pretty good dish. I'd say maybe 9, possibly a high 8 out of 10. But if I were to do it again, I'd make my own sofrito and add the tomato sauce to it, because the tomato sauce would have added a lot better flavor to this, I think. There you have it, though. I'm going to finish eating this off camera. I hope you enjoyed the video. I got a couple more nice ones coming up. Trying to think of something special I can do for my 2-year anniversary of having Big Red. She's sitting over there looking pretty, defrosting. And come the end of June, I'll have had her 2 years. So trying to think of something special I can put in her and make a video for you. Probably going to be ice cream cake. I'll just let that come out. And so anyway, that's a couple videos away. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.